Okay, so once more, I want to welcome you all to the fourth edition of our training. This is actually the fourth day, and previously it has been very insightful and very enriching to some of us. And then from the comments and from the responses I've gotten I've gotten from some of you, it's been very encouraging. So this is the fourth day, and like I said previously, what we are looking at today is transform. There are various tools in SPSS that you can use to do different things. Okay, so one of them is transformation tool. That transformation tool helps you to modify or transform your data into whatever you want to make out of your data. So your data can come in different ways, can be like anything, but transform tool helps you to modify it to suit the particular thing you want to find out. That is why SPSS can be used to analyze virtually most of the things you can look for in data analysis, because it's understanding the tools to use that can help you. Okay, although some new softwares has been simplified to do some task. Okay, so instead of transforming, you just use the software that does that as specially and do it. But even at that, SPSS still does most of those stuff. It's just knowing what to do. So that is why transformation tool is very important. Okay, so like I said, we'll briefly look at it, and then we'll go back to maybe getting your questions and then some of the other concerns that you may have. So please sit back and join me as we delve into this, and it's going to be a very interesting one. Okay, so here is my SPSS, and don't forget that we have a data that we are using, and that data was dropped on the group chat. If you have not gotten it, you can still go back to the group chat and check for the data and the questionnaire, and that is what I will still be continuing with. Okay, so let me quickly open the file that we have been working on, so that can you all see my screen, please?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So this is transform tool. Under this place you can see SPSS file, edit, view data, transform, analyze graphs, utilities, extension, windows, and help. So this tool here is what we are going to be looking at. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is to look at this compute variable. Okay, when you click compute variable, this is where it brings you to. And actually what you do with compute variable is, let's assume you have a hypothesis to do in your study, or let's assume you want to group your data. That is what you use. So let me give an instance. From this section, okay, let me go back to the data view so you understand what I want to do. So when you come to this data view, now this is section A. Section C has five options, okay, or 5 questions under them, while section B has about 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now these are the 4 questions under section B. Now I want us to group this question B6, B7, B8, B9 into one variable. I want us to group them and call it one variable. So let's give this variable a name. So maybe we can say variable B. So I'll go back to that transform. I'll come to this place, transform. I'll go to compute. So I'll go to this place. I think you can see me. If you can see me, I'm sure you are following what I'm doing. So you come here and select all the variables you are looking at, all the questions you are looking at. So you bring them into this box where I brought them now. You bring them one after the other like this, and be adding it with a plus sign, because you are doing summation, or you are actually doing computation. So you are trying to bring them to become one document. So you can come here and give it a name, variable B. This variable name can be anything actually, but for now we'll use variable B. I remember in our first tutorial we said that SPSS does not allow space, especially when you are putting variable name. So instead of putting space, you use underscore to put it. So that's why I had to put underscore there. Okay, so after I've done this, I will say okay. Okay, so it has taken note of it, and for you to know that that has been done, you can come and check your data and you see it here. So this is variable b, what I just did now. So with this, it has scored what each of the respondents scored in that question b. It has actually taken note of it. So the highest, the first person here scored 12, the next person scored 9, 11, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is how to use that particular key in that section.
At some point you dropped. At some point you left.
Okay, so where did you, or where did I stop? I just noticed that I lost my network, and then but it has connected back.
That's after opening the folder.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'll take it all over because I was actually talking to myself. I didn't know.
Okay. We thought that variable B.
Variable
Find
B.
the variables. Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
Now we can't see your screen.
You can't see now or before.
Now.
Okay, I'm not presenting. Like I'm not showing screen. I had to drop it, so I'll take it back again. So I'll take it all over. Okay, please. At any point you are getting lost or I'm leaving you behind, just call my attention, please. Okay, so I'll go back to transform view and then do what I did again. Okay, so let me share my screen back. Okay, so this is what I said, that I want to group all the variables under section B. Section B6, B7, B8, B9. You can actually group anything, but for now what I'm interested is in section B. Okay, so looking at section B, it has 4 questions. So I will go to transform. This is where transform is. Is anyone seeing what I'm doing? Can you see my screen now, Abigail?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So I'll go to compute variable. So I've actually computed before, but let me do it all over. Okay, so these are the questions, all the questions in the work we are doing. So, but I'm interested in just section B. So I'll pick them one after the other and impute them into this column here. Okay, so I'll put them one after the other. Plus, I'll add this one, plus I'll add this one, plus, and then I'll add this one. They are just 4 questions. So I'll come here and put the variable name. Like I said, I use variable B. Okay, and remember, for variable names you don't use space, you use underscore. Okay, because that's what SPSS will understand in that area. And this place already here because I put it before, but I'll just copy it and paste it again. Okay, so once I am done with this, I'll say okay. Now it's asking me change existing variable because I've done it before, but I will say okay so that I can change it. So I'll just come to this side of the document. It's still the same thing. No? It has created a new variable called variable B. So what this thing did now is to compute this 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 3 will give us 12. Okay, that's actually what it did here. Okay, and this one too, this 3 plus 3 will give us 6, 2 plus 1 will give us another 3. So everything here is 9. Here is 4 plus 4 is 8, 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So that is why how you got all these that are here. This is 12, 9, 11, 5, and so on and so forth. I don't know if you are getting it. So that is how you use that compute variable under transform tool. I want to be sure we are following, and if someone is following, let me see what the person is trying so we can use it to move on together. So is anyone trying it? Let me see. Okay, so what I can do for some of us is, let us create a new data. that can help us to do this fast. So that we are not wasting time, because I've actually dropped the data before, and if we start going back to it, it may delay us further. So let's do something. So if you are with your SPSS, you can just join me and let's create four questions. So we'll say this one can be B1. No, it will not be B1. Let's just say one. This one might be 2. This one might be 3. This one will be 4. Okay. So we'll fill it up. So let's name the variables first. So here let's
Please
just
share your screen, sir. You
Okay.
can share your screen.
Okay. Let me do that. Okay. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so I want us to just create a quick data so that you don't have to go back. So whatever I do, you just do with me. So under your data view, under your variable view, let's create four questions. So I'll call it B1. I'll call the next one B2. The next one I'll call it B3. Why I'm calling it B3 is because I assume that we have treated section A. It's usually from section B in your questionnaire that will start doing transformation. Okay, so this place I will change this to numeric because we are looking at data and not letters. We are looking at data 1 2 3 1 2 3. Okay, so having done that, I will go back to my data view. Okay, I've tried to put imaginary numbers, so let me still go for and put more. So I'll just put 2 3 3 3. I can put 4 3 2 1, 4 1 5. Whatever I'm doing, you can do your own. It must not be the same thing with mine. It's just for us to practice it. Okay, so this is another one, this is another one, this. Okay, then this. Have you been able to get to this point where I am? Is anyone following me?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Sorry, how did you change to numeric?
So if you go to variable view under this type of data, are you seeing where I am?
Yes.
Good. So inside that place, you see other options. If you click your own, it will open. So you select what you want to select. So it's numeric, I will select. It will be there automatically if you are dealing with numbers. But if you are putting something like letter, maybe if you are putting something like a name, maybe a maker or something, maybe mistakenly you just put alphabet, it will change it to string. String means you are putting letters. Okay, but that's not what we are doing now. So you bring it back to numeric.
Okay.
Yes. Should I move on?
Yes.
Okay. So now we said that we want to transform it. We want to group it. That's actually what we are talking about. We want to group it to make out meaning out of the data. Okay, so I will go to transform. This is my transform tool, and do compute variable first of all. So can you see these numbers now? You can see it clearly. I'll be B1, B2, B3, and so on. If you can see, let me know.
We can see it.
Good. So you take them into this place now and add plus. Add this one too. add plus, highlight it, you put it, add plus, you highlight it, you drag it in, and then that's all. So you come to this target variable, you give it a name, you call it like I did before, you call it variable b. You remember to use underscore because SPSS will not take space for the variable name, but for the label name you can put space actually. So variable b. So that's it. I will say okay. So if you are following me, you come here now, you see that there is another variable called variable b. Is that okay? Sorry guys, like my own network too is poor, so at some point it throws me out and I'm not able to communicate with you guys, but I'm sure some of you were following what I did, and I was asking if anybody was following.
Yes, sir.
Okay, bro. Favor Olubowale, I think I'm seeing you for the
Yes,
second.
I'm following.
Okay, good. Okay, so that's actually Abigail, are you still following?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, good. So that's actually the section I want us to actually get to before we end this section. So I don't know if any of you want to show me what he or she was able to do so that we can use it to tidy up what is left. Abigail, do you want to share your screen?
So I'm yet to launch the SPSS.
Okay, good. Favor, are you able to? Or Pelumi, are you able to launch your SPS and show us what's up? Okay.
Um,
Sorry? Do you want to share your screen?
Yes, I'm on with it.
Okay, good. Yes, you are correct. Good. So let's see how you're able to transform the data into computing it. There are different sections of transform that we'll still look at, but we are still looking at the computation aspect of it. So you go to transform, can you go there now? Belumi, are you there? Yeah, we are waiting for you. It's like our network is not good. Belumi, are you there? Oh, you can actually speak as you are doing it so that we know we are with you. Do you get? Okay, good.
I think our network is bad.
Probably. Okay, so having done that, let me go back to our screen now so that we can wrap up. But let me show you the last thing we are supposed to do. So let's assume we have another variable. So let's create variable C. So I will go to variable view and add C1, C2, C3, and then C4. So now let's go back to data view and fill it up with something hypothetical. So I'll just put 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, no, and stuff like that. And then 4, 4. Okay. Okay, so let's assume we have something like this for section C, and then we repeat the same thing. Go to transform, compute variable, and then bring them inside here. You see how I'm doing it? You add plus. Let me repeat that. Put it, add plus, put it and add plus, put it and add plus, put it and add plus. Okay, that's okay. So you call this one variable C. Okay, come here to variable C, then you say okay, and then you continue. Okay, so now I will have two variables to work with. So let's go to our data view. So this is variable B and this is variable C. Okay, so now the essence of bringing this forming these two variables is, let's say you now want to do an inferential statistics. Maybe you want to do hypothesis. You want to check the effect of variable B on variable C. This is the point where you can be able to do it. You cannot do it when it was like this or when it was like this. You can only do it when you have computed them into single variables. I don't know if we are together.
Yes, we are together. Go
Okay.
ahead, sir.
Okay, good. So now we'll just run a very quick hypothesis and then we'll be done. So let's just say, what is the effect of variable B on variable C? In our next class, we'll be able to treat that properly because we need to understand what is our dependent variable and our independent variable, okay? But I don't want us to start dealing with it now because it will take another time or a lot of time for us to explain it better. But let's just say, what is the relationship or what is the effect of variable B and on variable C? So to do that, I will go to analyze. I'm sure we also understand analyze too because I've thought about it before. And depending on the kind of hypothesis we have, there are different types of hypotheses that can be carried out. You can do a bivariate, you can do a multivariate, you can do a univariate, you can do different type of analysis. You can do a regression analysis, multiple analysis, correlation, and different comparison, t-tests, and all blah 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 like that. But now let's just do a simple one. Let's just do a correlation. That's bivariate analysis. Okay, so if I go to correlate, I will click bivariate. So because we are doing correlation, I will just copy these two things. I will drag the two of them and put them inside this variable column. Okay, so when I put them inside this variable column, I will not bore you with other information. I will just go ahead and say okay for now so that I don't confuse you. So for now, I will just say okay. It will give me the results. Okay, so this is what my result will be like. I don't know if you understand it. So this is a Pearson moment correlation analysis. Okay, so like the essence of doing this correlation now is just for you to understand the need for all this computation that I did now. Okay, so let's say in your questionnaire you are testing between maybe the effect of knowledge on leadership. Okay, and you want to know, is there any significant relationship between knowledge and leadership? Having done that, you, based on the result you have, you'll be able to now say, okay, there is a significant or there is no significant relationship. For instance, following this result that we have here now, there is an insignificant relationship. In fact, there is a negative. It's a significant relationship, but it's negative. It's significant. It's an insignificant relationship, rather. Pardon me. But then, even though it's insignificant, the relationship too is negative, because if you check the Pearson correlation figure, you see that it has a negative sign in front of it. And if you check the significant significant figure, it is 0.955, which is very high, and above 0.05, which is the significant value. Okay, so it is higher than the acceptable value, so we'll reject it. Okay, so that is not what we are actually looking at. Our intention this afternoon was to look at these two variables and see how to compute this. And to me, we have successfully done this, and I can actually say that some of you were able to follow. Some of you were able to follow and was able to do just that, and I am pleased with that. So we are going to continue from here in our next class, so that we can understand better other tools that we can use under the transformation tool. So thank you very much for your attention. I don't know if we have one or two input to make, or one or two questions before we wrap up. Joy, I don't know. Sorry?
I don't have a question. I just want to say thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chibuzo. Yeah. Abigail, do you have any?
Yes, I have just one.
Okay, good.
So in the questionnaire that was presented to us,
okay,
there are some questionnaires that I've seen that they usually have, will I call it open-ended questions. So in such a situation, like, how do you group them? Like, for example, now, if the open question, like, happen to be in maybe variable B, for those ones that are just stabilized, we just put it as, okay, B1, B2, B3, B4, and the likes. But those ones that has, like, open-ended questions, is it that one is going to come up with the possible answers and group it as B1, B2, B3, or how do one go about it?
Yes. What discipline?
You said?
What discipline? Like, in what discipline do you normally come across it?
Okay, for example, I'm a registered nurse, so there are some questions that...
Okay, don't worry. Yeah. That's why I asked, because that's where you usually get those kind of stuff. Nursing, public health, medicine, and the likes. And there's a way we do it, and that's also what you need to understand. But I don't know, maybe if this particular lesson will cover it. But this is how we do it. Just give me an example. Give me an example of any knowledge question.
Okay, let's say knowledge of, breast cancer screening among female.
So now, in nursing analysis, or not just, let me not say nursing, open-ended questions, there are right and wrong answers. I don't know if you get it. So you establish the answers beforehand. So you either give it to your analyst to impute, or you do it yourself. So let's say in those open-ended questions, maybe option A, B, C, D. A is correct, B is also correct, maybe C is wrong. Do you get? And then D is correct. So you give all the correct answers 1, and give the wrong answer 0. We treated this in our beginning class, that where you want to rank questions. When you're talking about ranking, that's when we're talking about ordinal responses. Like, because these 4 questions may not really be correct. So how do you get it? It is now when you now assign the right answers to 1, you assign the wrong answers to 0, you now go to this same transformation tool that we are using. Let me go back to my Spss and show you. You go back to that transformation. We have not gotten to that tool that helps us to do that. but when you go back there, you'll be able to do it. So now, you go back to this transform. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. So you go back to either where I'm pointing at now, these two things. Let me go back again. There are two things there. There are recode into same variable. There are recode into different variable. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So now, what I would do is to say for question, okay, let me just open it. So let's say this question B now has options for 4 different options, and A, B, and D are the correct question, while C is wrong question, Abi. And then you have already given them codes. Maybe A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, Abi, something like that. Now, but C, which is 3, is wrong. We only need A, B, and D as correct. So you are going to add A, B, and D and come here and give them as 1. So I will come here and say, let me just put that B now. I'll come here and say old value, for instance, old value is 1. So I'll come here and say the new value becomes 1. I'll add it. So for number 2, we know that number 2 is also correct. I will give it 1 again. Then number 4 is also correct. I'll come here and give it another 1 again and add it. Then because we are looking at C, which is wrong, which is 3, I'll come here and say 0. So what SPSS will do for me now is anywhere it sees 1, 2, and 4, it will give it 1 automatically. And anywhere it sees 3, it will give it 0. Does it make sense? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So by the time you are done with this transformation, you will now go back and transfer and do compute again. You now come back here again. I don't know if you understand.
Yes, sir.
Good. So that is how to treat that. But I am sure it will be, that one will happen in another class, so that we'll be able to have good time to talk about it. So that's
Okay.
that's actually how we treat. That's why transformation 2, you can use it to transform whatever data you have, as far as it will help you to solve that problem. There are a lot of knowledge questions. For instance, you want to determine whether their knowledge is good or bad, or whether their knowledge is high or low, or whether it's poor or bad, or whether they are whatever categorization you want to give. It's actually from that place that you do it. So you establish your right and wrong questions to be able to now say, okay, their knowledge is high, their knowledge is low. I don't know if you get, or their perception is this, or perception is that, or attitude. I'm actually an expert in analysis of nursing sciences, so I understand that place pretty well. So, but whatever, maybe in our subsequent classes, we'll just bring a questionnaire that captures what you're talking about, so we'll be able to do it in a way you will understand.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. I'm not sure we have any more or any further clarifications to do. Okay, in absence of any other, Joy, I'm sure you are still with us, and Mr. Chibuzo, thank you for being part of this tutorial every day. Mr. Olumeyo, you're welcome. I think I'm seeing you for the first time in this class.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, so brother, well done. Okay, good. So I hope to see you guys again tomorrow. So until then, let's have a very nice and beautiful day ahead. Bye.